you know, Kill Bill 2, Beatrice Kiddo, where she's doing that. Bah, bah, bah. And Pai Mei's like just watching her with this beard, and she's basically, her hands are bleeding. Well, the only way you're going to get better at doing it is by breaking through that moment, putting your negative feelings or your tiredness, quote unquote, to the side and push through and build. That's how you build your mental state of mind. Reach that point of practicing where you do get sick of it, right? Where you don't want to carry on. Your shoulder might get tired, right? This is all mental, the mental battle that is a big part of training, that is going to reinforce your mentality, strengthen your mind, right? Alright, good morning everyone. I hope you're doing well today. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I really appreciate it. Shout out to all the subscribers. As always, gratitude to anybody new. Welcome along. This video, we're going to be talking about repetition and the value of it, and how this will be one of your greatest assets when training, on how to get as good as you possibly can, how to perfect every single punch that you choose to perfect, how to drastically increase your game, how to understand what you're looking for, and how to really mentally push through that barrier of either being bored, either being tired, either feeling like you want to just stop practicing. I'm going to show you and help you and explain to you in this video all the above, so you, by the end of it, will have a good understanding of just how important repetition is for you, the beginner. Let's go.
Boxing.
Okay, so trying to get a little bit of light here. It's really early in the morning. It's a beautiful day. I've been off for the weekend. I had some visiting family, so I'm trying to make videos every single day. I will be doing that every single day this week moving on, and I've got more short videos coming, so thanks for your patience. Right, repetition. Now, when I think of repetition, you know, there's a lot of different examples you could have that, you know, of people being repetitive but not necessarily improving. For example, you know, most people on a 9 to 5, they have their job, they go to work, they get up in the morning, they do the same routine, they kind of stay on this average even keel. Not everybody, obviously it depends on how you apply yourself and how you repeat. You know, that's one form of repetition. Obviously repetition, saying the same thing over and over and over again in sales, where you just almost convince somebody of what you're saying is just true in reality, and you just force it down someone's face psychologically. The mind just takes on that. That's another form of repetition. I'm sure there's many others, but with training and with practicing and with boxing and what you guys are trying to do to get better, repetition is going to be a massive key for you. Now that quote, Bruce Lee, you know, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Great quote. Now obviously what he means is homing in and perfecting every single little nuance of technique, rhythm, timing, you know, understanding of the punch, and just doing the punch specifically so many times that you get so good at it that it just becomes natural for you to be good at that punch, or elite, right? And you know, practicing is obviously a key part of getting better in any situation. But I think certainly with martial arts, as I'm about to say, how you can develop your mind and push through barriers. You can do this in other sports, of course, but where you've got to remain focused, right? And as I'm talking throughout this video, I'm going to bring up clips from the gym, where I was in the gym just recently. This was on Thursday, and you know, I thought it'd be a good idea to make this video because this is how I train as well. I'm a little bit obsessed with training sometimes, you know. At least I certainly used to be, and I went back to doing it again just for, you know, to help you guys to understand the power of repetition and the power of working on the same jab. over and over and over. You know, it doesn't have to be from the exact same angle. I'm going to get into that in this video. Working on your left hook. Working on your right hook if you're a southpaw. Working on that straight hand, right? That straight cross, right? The back hand. Working on that shot. Working with just being stationary. Working with moving around. So now your footwork is being enhanced at the same time. Basic, precise footwork in the sense where, I mean, you know what you're doing. And I've actually got a drill for you guys at the end of this video to show you. And it's in real time. It's for about 30 seconds long. It's at the end of the, I like to go hard at the end of, when there's a bell for 30 seconds, I like to put it in. Sometimes I'll do a drill, sometimes I'll just hit the bag as hard as I can. But in this situation, I did a nice drill, so we'll get onto that. So let's just say you're in the gym, and you don't have to be in the gym, right? You could be outside practicing in shadow boxing. You could be in your room. You know, if you've got enough room where you can just get a good stance, right? Pop that jab, right? You're just throwing it, right? But the key to this, obviously, is the amount that you're doing, how you apply yourself, the intensity with it. Now, I'm not saying like you should flash every punch like this, right? But I want you to understand what you're doing when you are training this, right? Do you understand where your hand position is? Is your stance good? All this stuff that I will repeat, this repetition again, so you actually understand it. That's a powerful thing in human psychology, is repetition. So hopefully if you do watch these videos, you'll understand that you need a good stance to start off with, right? You need to be relaxed. Your hand position needs to be good. This is part of a good stance. Your chin needs to be right, tucked here, right? Before I'm practicing. If I'm practicing in the wrong position, in the wrong stance, that's going to affect your technique long term if you keep doing that. That's fairly obvious, right? So make sure you have all these things ready to go. And another thing that I always talk about, it's one of the most underrated forms of training, is to record yourself. Now, you might not feel like you want to. I totally understand. Looking at yourself, it's like hearing yourself on a voice recorder. You're like, oh my God, get that off. But I promise you, you're not going to know your mistakes, really. You know, I promise you that too, because there's times where I've been hitting the bag and I felt great, and I've been like, boom, like this. Yeah, I feel amazing. Bam, bam. And I'm like, putting my shoulder through it like this. You know, I've got my hands up, and I feel amazing. I watched the video back, how many times I dropped my right hand before I threw it, and I'm only talking a small little movement here and there. I'm looking for perfection, right? That's when I train. I'm looking for every punch to be as perfect as the next one, right? Because if you can get it perfect in training, the next stage is to get it as perfect as you can in sparring, and that's a whole other game and a whole other conundrum you're going to have to deal with, because there's going to be more elements that are involved in you just standing there practicing. You're going to have another dude or a lady, if you're a woman, beating on you. So, you know, well, or trying to get on you, you know what I mean? So, like, basically, when you're practicing, it's very, very important to get all your punches official. And that's why sometimes it's good to, you know, hone in on a certain punch and do it so many times you get sick of it. And that's actually something you should really aim for, is to reach that point of practicing where you do get sick of it, right? Where you don't want to carry on. Your shoulder might get tired, right? This is all mental, the mental battle that is a big part of training, that is going to reinforce your mentality, strengthen your mind, right? But who's going to just want to get here and after a few punches like this, you know, my shoulder's hurting a little bit, I'm a bit tired, I'm just going to stop. Well, that's fine. Let me just jump in here, guys. It's actually not fine to do that. What you're doing is you're going to reinforce your mental weakness, essentially, by stopping, by kind of quote unquote giving up a little bit, you know, not pushing through the pain barrier, not doing the reps that you were supposed to do all the time that you set for yourself. You know, if you just stop doing because you're uncomfortable, then you're going to reinforce that negatively. You want to power through so you can break through the time, break through the reps, get stronger mentally, power through. Also, the audio, not sure what happened. I recorded the whole thing, it seemed fine, so it's a little boxy today and it's not quite clear, so I'll fix it tomorrow, no problem. But if you don't stop and if you keep going and you power through and you get to whatever target, maybe you put a set amount you should do. I would always aim for, if you are actually boxing, aim for 500 to 1,000 at least jabs every day. I mean, that's probably even more, to be honest, but we're talking all the punches as well. Working on footwork too. I'm going to bring in some clips where I was in the gym as well with just working on my footwork. Some of it is I wanted to show for the camera here, but it's something that I do anyway. It's a routine that I do. Shadow boxing, right? When I'm shadow boxing, I'm being meticulous about it. I want to make sure that all my moves are good, I feel good, nice and relaxed and stuff like that, and I'm here. I'll watch it back, I'll record it back, I'm moving my feet are, crossing over. I've made loads of videos about that. All this stuff, I want to make sure I get it perfect. But I want to, and I've done this for a while now, and I'll leave a little clip at the end where, I was just hitting the bag. It's just tired. This is after 45 minutes, maybe an hour of just, doing hard shots. And I end, two separate times I've ended, and I'm just going around the bag, hitting the left hook, right, coming around, boom, like this. Boom, keeping the consistency, turning, getting a good rhythm. But it's kicking in and what. But the goal is to keep the technique as high as possible, even though the tiredness is kicking in. And don't even think about that word tired, right? Tell yourself you feel great. And this sounds like, it's a bit, perhaps for beginners to not quite understand, but as this channel grows, I'm going to help you understand how you can strengthen your mind to get to the point where complaints, we're not going to do that, no way, but we're going to get to a point where not only are you feeling tired, but you're going to tell yourself you feel great. And I'm going to help train you and help train your mind to understand repetition and building that level of those mental levels of pushing through whatever you think at the time doesn't feel good or you don't want to carry on. Well, the only way you're going to get better at doing it is by breaking through that moment, putting your negative feelings or your tiredness, quote unquote, to the side and push through and build. That's how you build your mental state of mind, to help you understand that repetition is, the key and the most important component of your training. But that's where you can really train your mind and get through the things that you don't really want to do at the time. Very important. That's going to help lead to discipline. Okay, so I always like to end with, I'm going to try to end with, some advice on application, because as I always say, application is going to be one of the most important things, if not the most important thing, because after watching this video, maybe even during it, but certainly after, you should set yourself up to try to do what I'm talking about. Get the repetition in, right? Make it realistic. Aim for X amount of punches, right? Whether it's the same punch, whether it's staying still. As I said, at some point you're going to have to move. I'm going to make a video. I've got a ton of content on the way, by the way. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute at the end of the video. But in terms of what you can do today, let's just say you wake up, you want to work on the jab, right? And you don't have to stick to one punch. You can stick to a couple of different punches at the same time. I would keep it simple as always. Work on that jab, boom. Work on here, work on getting the shoulders, work on having that list of all the things you should be doing before you've even thrown the jab, like a good stance, as I've mentioned. I'm going to keep repeating it for you guys so it all sinks in. But are you snapping it properly? Is it coming right back to your chin? And then you get in that groove. And then when you get to that barrier where you do feel, quote unquote, I'm not even going to use the word. I haven't used that word for a long time. It begins with T, but I've already mentioned it. But this is the mindset you want to get yourself in. Power through, tell yourself you're great, record yourself, watch it back, critique yourself, Don't quit, get to the target, maybe even go beyond it that you set yourself up for. Feel uncomfortable. You want to get to the stage where you don't like what you're doing. You want to get to the stage where you can't be bothered anymore. And those are the people that are going to really excel when you do more than that. And that's building your mind up, building the discipline up, you know, and that's the mental toughness. You know, when I was making this video, before I made it, I had a little thought process about what I'm going to talk about and just freestyle it really, but sometimes I like to just think about it. But you know, Kill Bill 2, Beatrice Kiddo, where she's doing that bah, bah, bah. And Pai Mei's like just watching her with this beard, and she's basically, her hands are bleeding. That's obviously an extreme version, but you know, you got to put yourself in that zone, really. You got to really take yourself away. And it's like, da, yeah, boom, yeah, boom. And keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it every day. Set yourself up. Get as much repetition as you can. Practicing it properly. Critique yourself. I've said all this again. I'm not going to say it again, I don't want to repeat myself. But that's it for today. I will be back tomorrow for sure. Some short videos hopefully coming out later today. Loads of content. I've got some exciting announcements to make at the end of the month. I'm working on a subscription-based Discord server. You know, it's fairly, the entry level is going to be quite simple, but we'll get to chat to each other. You can send me videos. I'll have to figure out a certain amount. This is, you know, if people really want to step their game up and you want me to basically essentially be your personal trainer, and communicate with me and other members as well. That's what I'm working on, so I can really elevate your technique at you know, a supersonic level. But look, that's it from me. I'll leave this little couple of clips at the end. This drill, right, actually, let me talk about it really quickly, is, well, before I go, actually, I just want to let people know my name is Henry. I really appreciate anyone that's made it this far, because that really means you're listening and you really want to learn. So much respect to you. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. I have got a ton of videos coming for beginners, but we'll tap into videos like this where I tap into, you know, the psychology and the mindset and the discipline, and I'm very big on that, and I want to put forward anything that I've learned and any bits of advice or stuff like that, and help you, motivate you, so you can be, you know, the best version of yourself. Because that's a massive part of this channel is, you know, helping other people get the best out of themselves. I'm trying to do that myself in my daily life, and you know, just put as many good beginner content videos with high level punching, discipline, motivation, all this stuff. But this drill, right, if you see here, this is a good drill you can practice. You don't have to go this fast, but I'm just shooting a jab, stepping over. My feet are set, shooting a right hand. Stepping over, feet are set, shooting a jab. Stepping over, boom, right? Look at the repetition. There's an end of 30 seconds, but my point is, I wanted every step to be perfect. I wanted every punch to be perfect. And I wanted to record it and watch it back, and for the most part it's actually quite good. Sometimes I'm dropping my hands, I'm like goodness me, but this one was actually quite on point, because I've been training a lot, I've been training every day, and I want to get better and better and better, you know. And as the channel grows, hopefully you'll see my development as well, and I can show you. I was like, look, that's what I was trying to do. It's what I'm trying to do at the time of this video. By a month from now, I want to be a much better boxer than I am now. And hopefully you guys are too. But that's it from me. Have a beautiful day. It's Monday. Have a beautiful week, and I will be back tomorrow, Tuesday. I'll have a few shorts later out today as well, because you know, I've been missing doing those. I just haven't had the time. I've been with my family for a couple of days. But anyway, peace, love. I'm out.
Yeah, repetition is the key to improvement, to get as close to perfection as you can, getting the best out of yourself. Repetition, 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 repetition. Every day, if you can. Every week for sure, several times a week if you can. But try to do something every day. Repeat. You know, push on. Try to get a better version of yourself the next day than it was yesterday. Repetition. I'm out. Thank you.